Being queen is not about choosing between right and wrong. It is about choosing between the life and death of an entire people. Rome was not ready to see a woman wield such influence on the throne.
Hello, and welcome to the Past Recast, our special series where the past meets the present. Today, we have the unparalleled honor of welcoming none other than the Queen of Egypt herself, the legendary Cleopatra VII. Your Majesty, thank you for being here with us in a time so distant from your own.
Thank you for inviting me. It is a fascinating experience to see how I am remembered after so many centuries. Perhaps I can shed some light on a few mysteries and maybe correct a few rumors along the way.
That is exactly what we're hoping for. Let's start from the beginning. You ascended to the throne at a young age, and you had to co-rule with your brother. How did you navigate that complex situation?
Egypt required a firm hand. The world outside our borders was becoming increasingly unstable. My brother was young, impressionable, and many advisors sought to control the crown in their own way. I understood from the beginning that if I wanted to preserve our kingdom, I needed to be the sole voice guiding Egypt.
Some might say that was ambitious, even ruthless.
History often forgets that the survival of a kingdom sometimes depends on difficult decisions. Being queen is not about choosing between right and wrong. It is about choosing between the life and death of an entire people.
A very pragmatic view. Later, you met Julius Caesar. Was this alliance purely political for you?
With Caesar, it was as much a meeting of minds as it was a political alliance. He respected intelligence and courage, and I respected his vision and strategy. Of course, every decision I made was first and foremost for Egypt, but I believe it is impossible to fully separate affection from strategy.
Caesar departed, and then Mark Antony entered your life. What was different about him, in your view?
Antony. He was a warrior at heart, impulsive, but he understood the grandeur of a civilization like ours. He gave me a different kind of strength, one of passion and unwavering dedication. Together, we dreamed of an empire that would unite the East and the West, merging cultures and peoples.
That sounds almost utopian. Do you think it could have succeeded?
Perhaps, but it is easy to speak of success without acknowledging the sacrifices it would require. Rome was not ready to see a woman wield such influence on the throne. My people, Egypt, needed me, not dreams.
On a lighter note, if you had the chance to share your royal life on today's social media, what would you showcase?
Social media. Perhaps scenes of the Nile at dawn or palace festivals filled with fragrances and colors. But I must admit, there would also be messages to my rivals, a reminder of our strength. Even online, a queen's authority must be clear.
Speaking of social media, it is often said they have immense influence on public opinion. Do you think that would be a strength or a danger for a leader?
It all depends on how it is controlled. A queen must handle her image and words with precision. Giving the people direct access to the throne could be dangerous if mismanaged, but it is also a way to secure their loyalty. I would ensure that every word strengthened respect and loyalty, never rebellion.
On the subject of modern politics, many states now collaborate in international organizations like the UN. What do you think of the idea of nations working together for peace?
The idea is noble but fragile. In my time, alliances were often promises based on shared interests. I would like to think that such unity could endure, but I know human nature seeks power. Peace can only be assured if every nation maintains its own strength.
Seeing the changes in the role of women in politics and society, would you have any advice for today's female leaders?
Never allow society to define your potential. A woman of power, in my time as in yours, inspires fear because she represents change. May every woman leader remember that power is a duty to her people, and the strength of her mind is her greatest weapon.
Your Majesty, your words are as inspiring as your legacy. Thank you for sharing your story with our modern audience beyond the myths.
It is I who should thank you for allowing me to share my truth. May the memory of Egypt remain eternal.
And with that, we conclude this extraordinary episode with Cleopatra. But don't worry, this is only the beginning. In our next episode, we'll be welcoming another historical figure for an equally fascinating conversation. And to you, dear listeners, let us know in the comments, which figure would you like to see next? Julius Caesar, Leonardo da Vinci, or perhaps a philosopher like Socrates? Leave us your suggestions and tell us your thoughts on this conversation with Cleopatra. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future journeys through history.